Okay, this is Kelly, and I'm going to show you how to move around in this wiki. It's If you haven't ever done one before, it can be confusing. Wiki spaces that a lot of people use, you can't really customize it very much and make it look fun, and it's harder to use. Spruce.com is much easier, I promise. Okay, so this is the screen that we've been using to discuss things, and to decide what we're going to do. All right, so what we want to talk about is where to go to work on the wiki. So that's where we're going to go first. We're going to go to the tab up here, up at the top, all this menu up here. This is EDU602 Wiki, is where the pages are where we're going to work on all the objectives. Okay, so when you click on that tab, it'll take you here. This is the wiki domain, and in this wiki you can add pages, lots and lots of pages. And so I have put in all these pages, and I'm going to run through them real quick. Here's the plants and animals, the employee management system, the IT department activity and assessment. I numbered them so that those would always be at the top. Now I put some other things in to kind of for information about aligning the objectives and the assignment and the assignment rubric, so you didn't have to go back to the portal and look for stuff there. I put everything here, so if you need to look at the assignment, you can look there. If you need to look at the rubric for how we're going to be graded, you look there. If you have a question about aligning objectives, you can click on these. Those are just for information. Now, right here, write up of contributions. That's where at the end, after we've done everything, you go in, you put your name in, you write in third person as if someone, you're writing about somebody else, and you tell about all that you did. And the things that you're going to write about are that you participated in the discussion, talk about what we were going to do about the objectives. If you want to mention your ideas, that'd be a great idea. And then you want to talk about what activities you worked on, what assessments, and what contributions you made. Did you add content? Did you revise? Did you edit? Did you add pictures? Those are the kinds of things that you want to do in the write-up. And you want to do that at the very end. And I'm sorry it got stuck in here in the middle, but that's where that is. Okay, so these are the three objectives that we're working on. Now I went ahead and worked on one of them, the IT department activity. So let's go look at that one, and I'll show you a little bit about it and how to work at changing, adding content on the page. Okay, so here's the page for the IT department activity and assessment. And you can look and see there's the objective, the activity. I've got pictures. I've got the materials for the little course for the training, the instructional training. I've got the lesson, the activity, the student scenario there has to do with the objective. It's just, instead of an objective, it's what the students are going to do, which is talked about more through here. And then the assessment is here again, aligning the objective with an assignment. When I created this, I took into consideration everything that everybody had to say about the IT department automated support services thing. That you wanted to have a video for them to watch, you wanted them to talk to each other, discuss, work as a group. So I did that as the activity, and then as the assessment, the individual thing. The learners are going to choose to do a PowerPoint or a Prezi presentation or a screen capture video. And if I have time, I'll talk more about that. But I did this once and I ran out of time. Okay, so let's say you come and you want to work on this or one of the other objectives. Alright, so we're back to the top of the page. Here's the title. Right here under the title is the edit button. And if you'll notice, there's also a history. And that shows all the times that something's been done to this page. Now, if for some reason something happened and you think that you've messed the whole thing up, don't worry about it, because you can go to the history and you can go to the previous history where somebody worked on it or where you worked on it, and you can bring that one up and start from there. So there is a do-over button. So don't worry about, messing stuff up. I always say just click on stuff until you get it to work. Okay, so you click the edit button, and then it brings up, now here is the title of the objective, activity, and assessment, and it's in a little box that you can type in. Now I've got that all set up for all of them, so you don't really have to deal with that or the next two things. You want to go down to page content. Alright, and if you look up here, this is all the same stuff that you have working with the word processor. You have, the justifications, you've got bold and underline, you've got font, you've got size, and you can add a picture, that's the image. You could add a YouTube video. Anyway, and if you're doing headings, one great way to do that is to highlight it, and then you go up and choose a heading size. Like this one is the heading 1, and this one is the heading 2. And you can make them bold or whatever you want to do. I just use the default. Now, if you want to work on your word processor to put content in, you can copy and paste. And it'll even copy and paste pictures, because that's what I did. Okay. So, let's say you've gone in and you've changed content. Let's add a picture. We need to add a picture just so we've done it. Alright, so you go up here, you add a picture. There's one little bit of information that'll be helpful. Okay, so you can put in a URL for a picture, but if you want to just upload it from your computer, you click on the upload button. All these words right here, I can't make them go away. I think they just give you an idea of how it's going to fit into the text, so you just kind of ignore those words. Okay, so I choose a picture, double click, and it's going to upload it. And then if you notice these areas right here, the width and the height, you can change that because it puts it in there, and sometimes it's huge, and it's easier to make it bigger than it is to make it smaller. So I found that 250 or 300 is a good size, and it automatically adjusts the height when you put the width in. So we'll say OK, and there's our picture. And you can click on it, and you can do what you can in word processing to make it bigger, smaller, whatever you want to do. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that. And now we'll go down to where you save it. This little box here is called Edit Notes, and you have to write something in there. I'm not really sure why, but I just put my name in there. If you wanted to write, maybe if you changed something that someone else wrote, you might type in there, kind of your idea, your justification for doing that. And that might give the person like, well, oh, okay, I see, I understand why they changed it. Because it is part of the wiki that you do revise and edit each other's work. And sometimes it feels like you're encroaching on someone else's territory, or you're might make them feel like they're not a good writer. But that's not really the point. The point is that each person gets to have a chance to do the best of what they can do to make it the best of what everybody can do together. And sometimes that does involve other people helping each other to make it the best that it can be. So if you want to write notes in there that sort of explain why you've changed something, or if you want to just put your name in there, then you can do that. And I have the allow editing and notify me of changes so that you'll get an email whenever it's changed. Okay, so we're going to save that. Oh, right. See, I told you have to put something in there or it gets mad at you. Okay, so we'll do that. Alright, so to review, to get to the wiki, you go to the EDU602 Wiki and you click. And when you go there, it's going to bring up all the pages that you can work in. Now, this is my pages and view all. If you're working in one and you want to switch, you can also do it here, or you can just go back and click there. Okay, so again, we've got the three objectives. We've got the plants and animals and the employee management system. And then down here, we've got the write-up of contributions. That's really all that the only place where you have to work are those four places. The other things are just for your information. Okay, so let's suppose you're doing your write-up and you can't remember what all you did. Site activity. You click on that, and it's going to take you to everything that's happened. And you just look for yourself and what you've done. So you can go through all that history. Now you can also look at the history when you're working on a particular page. Remember, it had the edit button, and so like if we go here, it had the edit button, and it also had history. So we can look at it there as well. Alright, so if I click on history here, then it's just going to show me the history of what's happened on this particular page. So let's see where that is. Well, maybe there's not much there because I haven't done it too many times. Okay. Anyway, okay, that's plants and animals. Mostly all I did was I just found pictures and stuck them in there. If you want to use them, you can. If you find something else you'd rather use, do that. You can read it and find out what's there, and there's some links to some cool stuff. Alright, so 12 minutes have gone by. I've got 15 to talk about the wiki. Okay, so the activities are formative assessments. The assessments are summative assessments. And typically from the reading, the formative assessments are usually criterion referenced, which means that it's very specific about the content, very specific, and it's intended to show what a student can or cannot do. Norm referenced assessments are usually used for summative assessments. They're a little broader. They don't give a concise, specific sampling of exact domain things. Like in the IT thing, it's a procedure that has rules, so there are specific steps that have to be done. That works well with the criterion referenced. But in the assessment, the student, has some latitude to do a presentation or a screen capture video and kind of own it, So anyway, so that's a little review of the kinds of assessments that we read about in the book and about aligning the objective and the assessment. If I haven't made this clear enough, please just email me and, we can get together and talk about it. Just look around, play with it, and if I can help you, just holler, because I do keep checking back and forth every once in a while. So, go get 'em, Tigers.